Tennis coaches, did you know the most common rally length in tennis is just one shot? That's right, the serve goes in and the return doesn't come back. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top secret way of developing the return of serve with players. Not only will you see more serves being returned, but you'll see the returners learn adaptable skills in order to survive that first shot. Now in tennis coaching, generally speaking, the serve and return are probably the most two neglected shots. Even if tennis coaches spend 10 minutes towards the end of a session working on the serve, very little time is allocated to the return. What we have to understand is tennis players who are returning are at a huge disadvantage. The server gets to pick when to serve, how to serve, and what type of serve to hit. Therefore, why do we spend so little time working on the return? Before I give you some solutions, here are 3 huge mistakes tennis coaches make when teaching the return. Issue number 1, the tennis coach tells the player where they're going to serve. I'm going to hit the serve to your forehand. Again, ask yourself the very common question on this channel. When does that ever happen in a match? When you play a match, you have no clue where the serve's going to go in, what type of serve, or even what type of speed of the serve you're about to receive. Therefore, when we train our players, we don't want to give them too much information. We want the players to develop their perception and action skills. They need to read information from the environment and then put that into action. By telling the player in advance what to expect, we're already taking away some very key information. Issue number 2, now most tennis coaches will teach the returner to stand in very specific positions. The hard part about tennis is no 2 serves are ever the same. No 2 servers are ever the same. Therefore, the return of position really depends on the server. You have to change and adapt your returning position based on the server. If they're serving big bombs, you're going to have to go further back. If they're sticking the bum out and floating the ball over, you will have the opportunity to move forwards. When you're coaching the returner serve, the returning position is completely variable. We don't quite know where the best place is. So what we have to do is encourage our players to move around until they find where they believe is a good starting point. And issue number 3 is block practice. If the return is ever practiced, and again, in my experience, I don't think I can ever remember a lesson that's focused on the returner serve in 24 years of coaching. Generally speaking, it's serve, return, serve, return. The issue with this type of block practice is the returner has no information whether or not the return was effective. Because the point's not being played out, we don't know if the return was effective. Did it neutralize the server? Did it put the server under any pressure? Or did it leave them a nice easy ball for them to put away? When we practice the return, like any shot on this channel, you have to do it within context. We have to practice it within the demands of the game. So here is one of my favorite games to play when developing the returner serve. On the screen now, you'll see that the returner is actually starting on the server's side. As always with all my practices, this game is relatively simple. Once the server starts their service action, they have to commit to the serve. Once you throw it up, mate, you've got to hit it. Once the server throws the ball up, the returner can move from their starting position. Now this is great because the returner has no idea where the serve's going to go. By taking away space and time, the returner is going to have to use information from the server. In this video, the returner can either start in the tram lines or they can start just past the center service line. This also gives the server some options as well. Do they serve into the space? Do they try and go back in behind? Or do they try and jam them up into the body? This now develops a great opportunity for both players to develop their perception action skills. As always, the players will naturally play the point out afterwards, and we can see the effect the serve and the return has on the rest of the point. If you take one thing away from this video today, when you train either the serve or the return, make sure you develop them together. Keep them coupled, as Rob Gray would say. If you'd like 5 game-changing drills in a PDF, check out my link in the description below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.